Hello guys, in this tutorial I'm going to solve question number 5, paper 33 June 2022. The complex number 3 minus y is denoted by u. So we have u is 3 minus I. Show that on the Argand diagram with the origin O, the points A, B, and C represented by the complex u conjugate minus u. So u represent the point A, and u conjugate, which is 3 plus I, represent point B, and C represent u conjugate minus u. So first simplify u conjugate, which is 3 plus I, minus u, which is 3 minus I. Simplify 3 plus I minus 3 plus I. Simplify negative 3 and positive 3 cancel. I and I is 2I. This is u conjugate minus u, which represents C. Now we'll start to represent it on the Argand diagram. This represents the real part, and this represents imaginary part. The first point A is 3 minus I, 3 in x-axis. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 3 and minus I. This represents minus 1I, which is point A. Point B, 3 plus 1I. This is point B. And C represents 2I. This represents C, which is 2I. State the type of the quadrilateral from the points O, A, B, C. O to A, from O to A, B to C, if we join C, it's clear that this shape is parallelogram. Each opposite sides are equal and each opposite sides are parallel. So when I look at OC is 2 units and AB also 2 units, which is 1, 1. So they are parallel and equal. If we try to get the length of OC, apply Pythagorean theorem, this side is 3 and this side is 1. So 3 squared 9 plus 1 is 10, so root of 10 and root of 10. Each opposite sides clear are parallel and each opposite sides are equal, but the adjacent sides are different. So now this shape is O, A, B, C parallelogram. But if this shape, all sides are equal, will be rhombus. Now this shape is parallelogram. Express u conjugate over u in the form of x plus iy. U conjugate, which is 3 plus I, 3 plus I, divided by u, 3 minus I. Now we'll start to rationalize. 3 plus I, 3 plus I, conjugate of the denominator. Expand, simplify, 3 by 3, 9. Then 3I, then 3I, then I squared. Divided by 3 squared plus 1 squared. Or you can expand step by step. It's a 9 plus 3I minus 3I, then plus minus I squared. Simplify, I squared is -1, and 9 will be 8. 3i and 3i will be 6i, all divided by negative 3i, positive 3i, 0. I squared is -1, negative is +1, plus 9 is 10. So split to be 8 over 10 and 6 over 10i, but still your answer was not simplified, will be 4 divided by 2 is 4 over 5, divided by 2 is 3 over 5i. This is part B. Part C, Part C, by considering the argument of u conjugate over u or otherwise, prove that tan minus 1, 3 over 4 over 2 tan minus 1 over 3. First, we have to get the argument of u conjugate over u. We already have it. The argument of u conjugate over u is tan 3 over 4. But u conjugate divided by u conjugate divided by u in its simplest form from the previous one is 4 over 3, 4 over 5. We'll write this complex number is 4 over 5, 4 over 5 plus 3 over 5i. To get the argument of this complex number, which is to get the complex argument of the complex number, I will explain why it's a tan 3 over 4. Tan minus 1, y over x. So you will get it simplified. 3 over 5 divided by 4 over 5, your simplest form will be 3 over 5. And both are positive, so the angle will be 4 over 5. Tan minus 1, 3 over 4. Tan minus 1, 3 over 4. This is the first part. After writing the u conjugate over u in this complex number and get its argument, it's a tan minus 3 over 4. But we'll back again to the complex number u conjugate over u before simplified. Before simplified, u conjugate is 3 plus i, and u without simplified, 3 minus i. We'll get the argument of this complex number, and the argument of this complex number, then subtract. When we divide two complex numbers, we'll subtract their arguments. The first one, it's tan minus 1 over 3. It is in the first quadrant, so the answer will be positive. So tan minus 1 for third. And for the second one, in the fourth quadrant, so the angle will be negative 1/3. So when you subtract to get the argument of this complex number, so the argument of u conjugate divided by u is their subtraction. It's a tan minus 1, tan minus 1/3 minus tan minus 1 for negative third. Tan x, tan minus 1 for negative third will be negative tan third, because tan is odd function, so we can take negative 1 outside, will be tan minus 1 for third plus tan minus 1/3. So simplified will be 2 tan minus 1/3. If you look at the right side, or the first part, it's a tan minus 1, 3 over 4. So tan minus 1, 3 over 4 is equal to 2 tan minus 1 or 1 over 3. I ask you to show that the left-hand side is equal to the right side.